Hello, everyone, and welcome back. This is day 5 of a year of self-love. So, today is technically January 8th. I have been absent. Definitely didn't keep myself 100% accountable, but I've not been in the greatest mental state over the last couple of days, which is why I chose not to post. But I feel much better today. And well, let me back up. On the 5th, actually, because today is the 8th, so I'm 3 days behind. But on the 5th, I was actually just really busy. My daughter has dance that day, and we just had a lot of errands and a lot of, household things going on. And I think I even worked that day as well. So I just didn't even remember to record this video until I was laying down in bed and makeup was off. I was exhausted and I was like, oh my goodness, I totally forgot to record that video and post it today. So my apologies. And then the next day was the 6th, and we all know what happened on the 6th. And I'm surprised at how much I was affected emotionally. I really didn't think I would be that affected. I don't know. I was in shock. I feel like I was in shock that it happened that way. And I don't know. I just had this almost paranoid moment of oh my God, is this the beginning of Civil War? Is this what kind of world am I raising my daughter in? And I don't know. I just it was pretty rough. And I stayed glued to the TV the whole day of the 6th, since everything started happening and whatever, which probably wasn't the healthiest thing to do, but I was just so worried about everything. Yeah. Anyway, so then fast forward to last night. I just sat with my feelings. I'm reading this great book by Dr. David Hawkins. It's called Map Your Consciousness, and it really helped me. I started reading that book a couple days ago, probably on the 3rd or the 4th or something like that. But I, read a chapter and then set it down, and I didn't pick it back up until last night. And it really helped me put some things into perspective. So just to talk a little bit about it really quick, he did some work using kinesiology. I can say kinesthetics, and I know it's like that, but it's kinesiology. I think I might have said that correctly. Anyway, he used that, and he's passed, by the way. But he used that as a way to gauge our levels of frequency, and I don't know enough about it to be able to explain in detail. But basically, there's all these different levels of frequency, of vibration that we're on, and how those levels relate to our current emotions or state, or our baseline, basically, because we fluctuate as our emotions change, and as we're experiencing different things, but we all go back to a certain baseline. And then he gives examples of, seeing a homeless man was one of the examples, and how if you're vibrating on this level, you would look at it this way, as opposed to a person who is vibrating on this level out of fear, guilt, shame, all the way up to love and enlightenment, right? So that book assisted me very much in gauging where I was at mentally, and the perspective that I was having related to the situation in Washington, D.C. on the 6th. And it helped me shift. It did. It helped me shift because the 6th and the 7th, like I didn't shower. I didn't put makeup on. I didn't, I think I did throw a load of dishes in the dishwasher, but I definitely was just like, I don't know. I was kind of zombied out. I was like, what is this? What is going on? Like, I don't know. I can't even really describe it out. I was definitely in shock, way more than I thought I would be, because I mean, like 2020 was pretty wild. And I wasn't that shocked about like it didn't affect me that bad. I definitely had my moments where I was like, oh, when is this just going to be over? And I think everybody had those moments, and I still have those moments because I still feel like we're not completely out of it. But this was very, I don't know. I was really shocked. So anyway, I'm back. I did some work on myself. I processed my emotions and you know, gauged my vibrational frequency, and I feel much better today. I definitely still think this is a little wild, and I definitely feel like, oh my God, what's next? Like, is something else gonna happen? But we're but it's gonna be okay. So anyway, let's move on to a year of self-love. We're gonna do day 5, and I'm not gonna do all the days in one video. I'm just gonna do day 5, and then I'll do day 6 and day 7. And those of you that that watch this day 5 will understand, because I'm not going to do this whole spiel about, you know, where I was and how come I didn't post on those days on every single video. I'm just doing it on this one, and then moving right along, right? Okay, so number 5, day 5. As you work on loving yourself, you may experience pain. You may be tempted to numb it. I invite you to instead look at these uncomfortable feelings with a different perspective. These are growing pains, like working out to build muscles. Well, I would say that definitely applies to me in my situation over the last couple of days. And I really like this one because I like the fact that he brings up that we could be tempted to numb, because lots of us out there, we numb our emotions. We don't, you know, sit there and process them and attempt to gain perspective. I know from my own personal life, like in my 20s, I never did that, you know. And I went to school for psychology, and I did not really, I had my moments, but most of the time I just tried to blow it off, and, you know, F them, F the world, whatever. I'm better than them. I don't need that nonsense, you know, that kind of stuff. I think a lot of us do that in our 20s. But then we grow and we become more mature, and not our whole 20s, you know, definitely like in the beginning. But anyway, you know, I like this as a form of self-love. I really do, because there's times, and definitely this could go to the dark end. So I'm definitely, let's, you know, stay more lighthearted. But I think there's times when a lot of us really do just need to sit with our emotions and gain perspective and really reflect on where we're at, why we're feeling this way, where does this come from? And people don't want to do it because it's work. It's a lot of work, you know. I know, just me being shocked about what I saw on TV yesterday, or the day before, I'm sorry. Last night, reading that book and gaining perspective on, you know, where I might have been vibrating at according to how I was perceiving the situation. And you know, I mean, it worked. It helped me in the moment, but I can see how and I know in my own past, sitting there and really processing emotions related to various experiences we had in our life, it can be very difficult, very, very difficult, but it is a form of self-love, even though it feels like shit at the time. It is a form of self-love, and it's better to do it in the moment. Now, if you're doing this for every single thing in your life and you're constantly inside your head, that's not healthy either. So that's what I mean. Like, I'm not trying to go to the dark side with this, because, you know, you could definitely go to the dark side with this. But if you do this in a balanced way, when things are really bugging you, especially if there's something that's been on your mind for hours or even days, it might be beneficial to sit there with it for a while and feel the pain and work through the pain and understand why you feel that pain, and maybe not even understand it, but at least gain perspective that you definitely do feel it, and you know that it's related to this and that. It's definitely a form of self-love, rather than stuffing things and letting them come back in 5, 10, 15, sometimes even 20, 30 years later, in the form of a completely explosive episode or emotional breakdown or something like that. So I really like this day 5. I think this is great. Growing pains, building muscles, building that mental muscle. You know, people don't realize how, you know, yeah, we need to go to the gym, we need to work out, or, you know, maybe not go to the gym, but whatever, we need to move. We need mobility for our own physical body, right? But we also need that for our mental health too. We need to think about things. We need to gain perspective. We need to do self-reflection. If not, then, and I've seen this with people, they be in their 40s, maybe even in their 50s, and they're really a shell of a human being because they've never processed anything, never really had a deep thought, and it's on to the next, and it's on to, you know, the next relationship, the next job, the next whatever, and it's all about, you know, paying the bills and getting this done, and you know, and getting that done and whatever, and never really taking the time to be a human being, and that's detrimental to anyone's mental state. So yeah, great form of self-love. I really like this one. It's a deep one, but we can all do it. And feel free to leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think about this as a self-love practice or tool. Okay, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you.